guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel where we learn, we unlearn, and we teach. In today's video, I will be talking about genotype and compatibility. In this video, I would like to explain why some people with a particular genotype cannot get married with some people with a particular genotype. But before I go further, I want to ask a simple question. Do you know your genotype? The person you are having children with, do you know his genotype? Or the person you are planning to get married to, do you know his genotype? This is very important. Before you have children with somebody, or before you are planning to get married to somebody, it's good to know your genotypes. Know your partner's genotype. This is very important. So, what is genotype? Genotype is the genetic composition of an individual, which means it's just like how you are made genetically. There are 5 kinds of genotype, or there are 5 different types of genotype. We have the AA, which is the golden genotype. I call it the golden genotype. You will find out later. We have the AS. We have Mr. SS. I call it Mr. SS because it's very dangerous. We also have the SC and we have the AC. Those are the 5 different kinds of genotype. So now let's begin with the golden genotype, Mr. AA. If you're somebody who have the AA genotype, you are lucky. Say hallelujah to God, because you can get married to anybody. You can have children with anybody. It doesn't matter. Those children will not have the sickle cell trait, which means if you have the AA genotype, you are free from everything. You are free from sickle cell. This is why I call it the AA genotype. People with the AA genotype can get married to any other person with a different kind of genotype. They don't have any problem. Now, let's go to the AS. If you have the AS genotype, you cannot just get married to anybody because you have the sickle cell trait. The S there signifies the sickle cell trait. This means if you have the AS genotype, you have to be very careful when having children, when choosing a partner to have children with, because somebody with an AS genotype cannot get married or cannot have children with somebody who is also having an AS genotype. That's problem. Now, we go to Mr. SS. I call him Mr. because it's a very dangerous genotype. People with the SS genotype have the sickle cell disease. When you hear of the sickle cell disease, it means you have the SS genotype. They are always in and out of the hospital. They are always sick. Their red blood cells is deformed. It's not normal. That's why they call it sickle cell. The red blood cell is sickle. It's like the shape it's like the shape of a C. It's sickle. It's not normal. They are always sick. They always have problems. So if you are somebody with an SS genotype, the only people you have to get married to is people who have the AA genotype. You see why I call the AA genotype the golden genotype? Because living in this world is not all about your outward appearance. It's also about your genetics, what you are made up of. Now, we go now to the SC genotype. This genotype is somehow, it's just like the SS genotype, but not too bad like the SS genotype. But people who have the SC genotype are also sickle cell carriers. And the last one is the AC genotype. The AC genotype. It's a rare form of genotype. It's not too common like the AA, the AS, or the SS. It's so rare. So what am I saying? I am saying that before you begin to have children, or before you choose a partner to have children with, it is good to know your genotype, because some people with some genotype cannot get married with others with some genotype. For example, Somebody with an SS genotype can never get married with somebody, can never get married to somebody who has an SS genotype. If they happen to get married, or if they don't know their genotype and they happen to have a child together, there is a possibility that that child will be a sickle cell patient. It's very obvious. If you are SS and your partner is SS, it is very obvious you will have a sickle cell child, and you know what that means. If you are also AS and you have a baby with somebody who is AS, there is also a high possibility that you will have a baby or you will have a child who has the sickle cell disease. So it is good to always know your genotype before you plan to have children with somebody. I know most people don't know their genotype. This is very normal for you not to know your genotype, because we are not just aware of these things. But I think in my own way, I want to create an awareness to some people, to the few people who watch me, so that you know your genotype, you know the genotype of your partner, and you know what you are getting into. So please know your genotype and know what you are getting into. It is very good to know your genotype.